안녕하세요. 소소한 클래식의 피아니스트 김윤경입니다. 2013년도에 데뷔해서 2020년도에는 빌보드 싱글 차트 1위를 기록하고 역사상 가장 많은 상을 수상한 아티스트 그룹, 바로 여러분들 누군지 지금 생각이 반짝반짝 나실 것 같은데 바로 BTS입니다. 근데 갑자기 왜 소소한 클래식에서 지금 BTS, 아미 얘기를 이렇게 하고 있는 걸까요? 클래식이 BTS와 상관이 있길래 지금 소클쌤이 제가 이런 얘기를 하고 있을까요? 제가 오늘 아주 특별한 음악을 여러분들께 소개하러 왔는데요. Suite for Army입니다. 그게 뭐야? Suite은 모음곡이란 뜻이거든요. 아미를 위한 모음곡이다. 와, 그러면 이거는 도대체 뭔가? 작곡가이자 지휘자인 헨리 청이 독일에 거주하는 지휘자인데 그가 전 세계에 있는 방탄소년단의 팬클럽인 아미를 위해서 작품을 탄생시켰어요. 사실 여러분들이 아실지 모르겠지만 BTS의 음악에는 클래식 음악이 다양하게 녹아져 들어가 있거든요. 피땀 눈물, Fake Love, 아니면 유포리아 등 쇼팽의 음악, 바흐, 데뷔시, 다양한 장르에 걸쳐서 다양한 시대의 음악가들의 작품들이 녹아져 있답니다. 헨리 청은 클래식에 있는 모티브와 아이디어를 사용해서 또 BTS의 음악들을 접목시켜서 많은 사랑과 헌신을 보여주고 있는 아미에게 헌정하는 Suite for Army를 작곡하게 됩니다. 그럼 이 Suite for Army에는 BTS의 어떤 곡이 들어가 있고 클래식 음악에 어떤 곡이 이렇게 연결되어 있는 걸까요? 제가 조금 더 자세하게 이 곡에 대해서 알아보기 위해 지휘자이자 작곡가인 헨리 청을 모셨습니다. 여러분 환영해 주세요. Welcome, Henry.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, I'm Henry. I'm a conductor, composer, and I'm very happy to be here.
Do you live in Korea? Why are you here?
Well, we were invited to be part of an exhibition at the Total Museum, and because during COVID in the last year and a half, I wrote this piece called Suite for Army, and so now this piece is becoming, of course, dedicated to the Army, and now we're exhibiting it as part of the group exhibition at Total Museum.
Okay, and this exhibition is sponsored by?
It's completely sponsored by the Army.
Wow. So we'll talk a little bit about Suite for Army that you wrote. You've combined classical motives with 10 of BTS's songs, right? Out of all the classical composers, who were you inspired by when you actually studied and listened to BTS's songs?
Oh, that's great. That's a wonderful question.
Yeah.
From tracing through all the kind of discography of BTS, what one begins to understand is that, that how much they have evolved and kind of the dramaturgy that they've developed throughout the years. And that really reminded me of Wagner. And
Wagner?
Wagner, yes.
The late romantic composer Wagner.
Absolutely.
Who wrote a lot of operas.
Absolutely.
Why Wagner?
Well, Wagner's story, he did something called a leitmotif, which either through a thematic or harmonic or use would kind of characterize one of the characters, right? And through his stories, all the stories connect again and again and again so that's why there's the ring cycle, right? When you hear a certain theme or when you hear a certain harmony, then you're reminded of that character.
Okay.
And through the story, those characters continue to evolve. Okay. So the Suite for Army is a piece that's tracing the evolution, kind of the growth, the maturity of BTS.
Oh, you mean from beginning to now?
Exactly.
BTS의 음악을 들었을 때 누구한테 좀 감동을 받았냐면 바그너의 오페라에 이제 들어가 있는 라이트 모티프라는 쉽게 얘기해서는 마블 생각하면 돼요. 왜 마블에는 헐크도 있고 닥터 스트레인지도 있고 아이언맨도 있고 여러 캐릭터가 있잖아요. 캡틴 아메리카도 있고. 그런데 하나하나의 영화가 단편적인 스토리지만 큰 흐름을 가지고 있는 것처럼 BTS 음악도 처음 시작부터 지금까지 쭉 연결고리를 가지면서 발전해 왔기 때문에 바그너라는 작곡가가 생각이 났다고 해요. So how did you put them in specific order, which you started from by No More Dreams? How did you put the songs in that order? Why?
Well, I began with No More Dreams.
Yeah.
As I went through kind of every single album that they produced from 2013, the first year for the first album, No More Dreams, it just made sense that it was clear that there was kind of a natural organic growth. In terms of the musical growth, in terms of the deepening of what their capacity is and their influences from techno music, house music, different classical music, and also other literature and kind of visual art influences as well. So it just made sense to pick one piece per year, almost per year, that signified their evolution, their growth.
2013년도에 발매된 No More Dreams가 이제 BTS의 데뷔 앨범인데 헨리는 우리 방탄소년단이 성숙했는지 성장했는지를 보여주기 위해 처음에 딱 시작부터 음악을 보여주고 싶었대요. 이 Sweet for Army에도 이 No More Dreams 처음에 나왔던 그 주제가 계속해서 화성이 바뀌고 뭐 텐션이 바뀌고 이러면서 처음 시작부터 끝까지 곡 전체에 바그너처럼 쫙 깔려 있다고 얘기합니다. You used Boy in Love, right?
Yes.
Any particular reason for using Boy in Love for the next song?
Well, it's a fantastic song,
Yeah.
number one. And, you know, it's really beautiful because in Boy in Love, they're talking about love, like youthful love.
Yeah.
And there's something really so pure and innocent about it. Great
I heard
masters.
Tchaikovsky's Piano Concerto in here, in this part. Why did you use his concerto?
Exactly for that reason. You know, when Tchaikovsky wrote the first Piano Concerto, he played it for Nikolai Rubinstein.
Right, his friend and mentor.
Exactly, and there's a beautiful story, a famous story of it basically being rejected.
I know.
And really, you know, in tears, very, very remorseful. And this parallels very much to this kind of BTS journey, you know, of them coming up, no one knew, from a small agency, and then kind of proving everybody else.
Okay, because we're going to talk about that later. I actually planned it out.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, let me talk about the theme then.
Okay.
I need to talk about the theme
Alright.
then.
And how did you use the Piano Concerto in here? Like what specific part? Is there a theme to it?
Yes, absolutely. Well, you know, like every Tchaikovsky theme, it's always to the max, you know, and this is very parallels kind of the feeling of being in love or first love, right? So we use the very beginning of the yeah, exactly.
년도에 나온 그 상남자에서 차이콥스키 피아노 협주곡 1번을 그 상남자가 제시하는 사랑의 열정, 그냥 굉장히 젊음 이런 것들을 표현하는 차이콥스키의 피아노 협주곡 1번의 앞부분을 이제 사용을 했어요. 그런데 그 다음에는 뱁새 노래가 이제 중간에 다리 역할을 하거든요. And then what's your song you used after 펩새?
Well, the next song, it's called Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Okay.
And it's a wonderful example of BTS using a lot of classical music already in the music.
Oh, it's already in the music.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What music is in their music?
Well, in the very beginning, they quote the Bach Kyrie from the B minor Mass. Which is an amazing message to parallel what they're saying. For me, Blood, Sweat, and Tears is about the pains, the difficulties of growing up. You know, almost kind of like in the video you see kind of like the falling of the angel, Michael, right?
Or even falling into temptation. That's what
and falling into temptation, absolutely. Or falling from grace, or however you want to say it. It's just all part of growing up and going through the turmoils and the stresses and the suffering and the loss, love and loss of growth. In the Bach Kyrie, it literally is saying, God have mercy, please forgive me. And that is, I mean, how fitting is that to symbolize kind of the youthful at least in the beginning of a journey.
You know, there's a German quotation they use in the music video.
So, man muss noch Chaos in sich haben,
Wow.
einen tanzenden Stern gewahren zu können.
춤추는 별을 잉태하려면 스스로 내면에 혼돈을 지녀야 한다. 모든 성숙과 성장의 길에는 혼란이 있을 수밖에 없고 우리는 모두 다 또 유혹에 빠질 수밖에 없고 그게 다 자라는 과정이다. 이런 메시지를 헨리가 이제 클래식 음악을 통해서 어떻게 표현했는지 들어보시죠. You actually used Bach's Kyrie.
Yes.
Okay. Twice.
Yes, well, you know, it seemed like one time wasn't enough. Because you know, there's such a plead in this music. One time didn't seem enough. Okay. So there's one iteration of it, and then there's just like a one where you're really at your moment of mercy,
right.
on your knees, kind of pleading for something, someone to help, to guide you through.
Okay. 그 피땀 눈물의 뮤직비디오 보면 바흐의 키리에 정말 그 곡 자체를 인용을 해서 나와요. 그래서 헨리는 그거를 2번이나 사용해서 이 피땀 눈물에서 제시하고 싶은 전달하고 싶은 내용을 더 강조를 했다고 합니다. And the next song is Spring Day. Right? It's one of the most loved songs of BTS. There's a text where it says, "It's winter now, it's winter in August," expressing such sad and painful state of mind. You used a very well-known piano concerto in Spring Day, right?
Yes.
Any specific reason?
So I quoted the horn solo
Of
the Rachmaninoff's second piano concerto.
Yeah. Which movement is that?
It's the second movement.
Aha.
So, you know, when he wrote the second piano concerto, he was actually just coming out of a 3-year very depressive period in his life. So there's a lot of sadness, but through the sadness, I also found the piece, Spring Day, incredibly beautiful, beautiful in its sorrow, very much like Rachmaninoff.
이 봄날에는 라흐마니노프의 피아노 협주곡 3년의 공백기, 굉장히 힘들고 우울증에 시달리고 난 후에 재기하면서 쓴 곡이 피아노 협주곡 2번이라 이 피아노 협주곡 2번을 여기에 사용을 했다고 합니다. And then in the next song, Fake Love, right? I heard Chopin's music. Is that right? Did I hear it right?
Absolutely, it was a direct quote from Chopin's music. Yeah, so BTS used it in actually 2 of their songs. So one in an official kind of teaser for the song Fake Love, and then later on in Euphoria. And both to symbolize the same thing, in that, you know, to receive love or to give love or to understand love, you really have to be honest and true to yourself first.
다음 노래는 이제 Fake Love인데 Fake Love의 그 공식 티저에 보면 쇼팽의 Farewell Waltz라고 이별 왈츠가 나와요. 이렇듯 Euphoria라는 노래랑 Fake Love 노래에서는 BTS가 클래식 음악의 작품 그대로 인용해 썼는데 둘 다 진정한 사랑에 대해서, 되게 진정한 관계에 대해서, 그리고 더 나아가서는 그러려면 내 자신에게도 굉장히 솔직하고 진실돼야 된다, 이런 메시지를 담고 있다고 합니다. So where do we go from Fake Love now? What did you pick as the next song?
The next is kind of a a look back, and it's kind of hark back to the beginning of the piece, boy in love, and now with boy with love.
맨 처음에 우리가 상남자, boy in love였잖아요. 근데 이제 이 세월이 지나 다양한 경험과 인생의 시간들을 통해서 더욱더 성장한 모습의 boy with love가 탄생하게 됩니다. 작은 것들을 위한 시 어떻게 클래식 음악에 연결되었는지 들어보시죠. So how did you express BTS's growth in this music, Boy with Love?
Or the return of the hero, or the return of BTS back to kind of after their travels or their experience. It made sense musically to kind of start to combine all the things that came before. So you have then moments of Rachmaninoff, and then you have moments of Tchaikovsky, and then you have moments of Chopin.
And what comes after Boy with Love, and how did you connect it with the classical music?
Yeah, what comes afterwards is a piece called Ugh.
In Korean, they say uk.
It's more of the same thing, right? But now it's more percussive, more kind of you're fighting against something.
욱 노래는 왜 약간 사회에 대한 비판, 지금 일어나고 있는 현상, 또 혹은 우리를 비판하는 이런 익명의 비판에 대해서 이게 분노를 표출하는 거잖아요. 인생과 자신에 대한 의미를 찾는 그런 메시지가 담겨 있는데요. 그러면서 우리가 이 분노의 시간, 여러 가지 괴로움의 시간을 지나서 또 성숙하게 된다는, 더 나아가서는 그런 깊은 메시지까지 생각할 수 있을 것 같은데요. And then you connected with a very grand composer.
For some reason, it's more of an inspiration.
Okay.
And it comes from Mahler, and specifically kind of the philosophy in his first 4 symphonies, which is what is the meaning of life? And there's something about Mahler's character, about being Jewish, having to give that up and declaring Christianity.
그러니까 말러가라는 후기 낭만 작곡가가 항상 자신의 정체성과 음악에 대한 그런 탐구가 있었거든요. 그런 말러의 철학과 어떤 인생에 대한 전의를 이 욱이라는 노래를 생각했을 때 자기가 그 작품에서 이제 감동을 받아서 연결을 시켰다고 해요. So next 2 songs are very popular songs, right? The one is Young Forever, which it was composed back in 2016 because we were going in year by year, right? Chronicle order. Why Young Forever all of a sudden?
And it's this YouTube clip of, I believe in 2019, when BTS was on their last international tour, and it was in Wembley Stadium. The BTS army started singing Young Forever to BTS. It was just such a powerful, sincere moment, and it's rare that I thought, wow, what a great message for a way to kind of finish and end the piece.
A theme from a song to actually finalize this piece as a finale.
Exactly. Well, and it's only just like maybe 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's just one horn solo.
It's a very little glimpse of it.
Exactly. By the time I was finishing editing and the piece, Sweet for Army, it was Dynamite had just come out. So I thought, okay, wow, isn't this what a great way of putting a little kind of foreshadowing of the future. What really inspired me was the idea of Stravinsky. and especially the Peace Firebird.
Why is that?
Well, symbolically, Firebird is literally a bird that rises from the
Right,
ash,
right.
that rises from the trials and
Right,
tribulations of
right.
life. It just fit perfectly that after there's ashes, you see the light from the dynamite, right? I wanted to end the piece optimistically,
Giving hope.
giving
right?
hope.
모든 사람한테 이런 여정을 방탄소년단과 같이 우리 사람들도 우리 인생도 이런 여정을 걸어나가고 있지만 항상 그런 희망을 잃지 말자. 나도 별이 될 수 있다. 그래서 다이너마이트로 거대한 작품을 마무리를 했다고 합니다. 우리 BTS를 사랑하시는 모든 분들 토탈 뮤지엄으로 가셔서 한번 이 복합 예술을 경험해 보시면 좋을 것 같습니다. 그럼 저는 또 다른 BTS 이야기 그리고 또 다른 영상으로 여러분 또 올게요. Bye. Say bye for them.
Bye.
안녕.
안녕.